This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to Miles Memories Weekly, episode 235. Miles Memories is a show about nothing and is filmed in front of a live studio audience. This is a show where I talk about painting, modeling, and wargaming experiences from the week. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Jay, you put out 3 YouTube videos a week. Ow! Could I possibly have more to say? Well, I do, and here goes. This week, we finally got some more new Space Marines. It's been almost 60 days since we got some new Space Marines, so we were long overdue. And somebody at Games Workshop is probably getting fired because the Dark Eldar codex got leaked, and it's looking kinda spicy. Also, the Balanced Data Slate came out. There has been so much stuff going on for Warhammer that you almost need like your own website to get it all straightened out. And luckily, that becomes very easy with today's sponsor. Squarespace allows anyone to design the website of their dreams with the most powerful and easiest design tools in the industry, like Design Blueprint. Using AI technology empowers anyone to build a more personalized website tailored to their needs, crafting a bespoke digital identity. Choose from a professionally curated selection of styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up. Squarespace makes sure it's easy to launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated optimized SEO tools, so you show off more often to more people and grow the way you want. With Squarespace, it's never been easier to set up a unique online storefront. Whether your services are physical, digital, or service-based, selling your wares has never been easier. Squarespace offers an unmatched ability to showcase your unique wares with images, video reviews, and add-ons, all capped off with their seamless checkout tools, letting your customers use whatever system they prefer, whether Klarna, ACH Direct Deposit, Apple Pay, Afterpay, or ClearPay. Squarespace offers a free trial for you to dip your feet into and test the waters, and ready to dive in headfirst, you can go to squarespace.com/EonsOfBattle or follow the link in the description to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. To start off the brand new Space Marine Shindig, Space Marines actually got new miniatures in 2 different ways. Warhammer Day is coming up, and with Warhammer Day comes new exclusive minis that you can buy from Warhammer stores, and we got 2 new ones, one Age of Sigmar and one 40k. The 40k one is a Jump Pack Captain with Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, and it's really good. It's pretty good. It goes along really nicely with the current Jump Pack Captain. He's got a nice little iron halo. He's got a Thunderhammer, a kind of weenie Thunderhammer. I guess it's probably as big as the old ones. It does look a little bit bigger than the one that actually comes in the Assault Intercessors box, which is a really weenie Thunderhammer. It's like Mjolnir, it's like Thor's hammer in like its size. It's kind of weirdly small. I was really excited because I have a bunch of Assault Intercessor boxes, and I'm like, I've got a bunch of Thunderhammers. But it feels like I don't because they're small. They're too small to put on my Space Marines. Although speaking of small, the shield that he's got is kind of small. It feels like it's a little bit squished on the Z-axis. It's a little petite for a Space Marine, but maybe because he's a jump captain, he needs a little bit extra room to like swing his arms and manipulate his armor, so he can't have a full humongous like Terminator shield. But overall, I think this mini looks great. I'm thinking about getting this mini because right now I'm working on a Black Templar Assault Intercessors with Jump Pack squad, actually working on 2, and I'm kit bashing and converting them from a couple of different kits because I want to have neophytes who are Space Marine scouts in the squad as well. And so I got the neophytes, I got 4 neophytes done, and I want to put 2 neophytes in each of these 5-man squads, which means I need 2 initiates, and then I need 2 sword brethren. And I bought a box, or just a regular box of Assault Intercessors with Jump Packs, and so that gives me 5 bodies. I need 6 with the new Jump Packs, and so this guy could be number 6. I think he looks really, really good. He could have a dick banner if they just Games Workshop wanted to make this model perfect for me, but he doesn't. But that's fine, I could sculpt one. I think this guy is great, and the Age of Sigmar birthday model is coming out, and it is a guy. It is a spooky dooky chaos guy, and I think he looks great. He's very simple. I like how ridiculously humongous the fur on his robes are. He's got a good spooky vibe. I like the little glowing glyphs on his sword. He's just a really nice looking little character. I almost wish that this was just the normal guy, or maybe the lieutenant or the sergeant who comes in the box. I think he just kind of looks normal enough that it's weird that he's super exclusive. Like, I would like to see this guy leading every army. But speaking of leading every army, one of the very first Space Marines to pass the Rubicon Primaris in 10th edition, or in 9th edition, was Marneus Calgar. Is he the chapter master of the Ultramarines? the chapter master isn't always who you think it would be, but I think he is the chapter master. And he got a new mini with Gravis Plate, and then he had a couple of his honor guard, and they replaced the old resin versions. And it was pretty cool. And that was in 2018, and so he's getting a new model kind of quickly, but the new model is actually in Terminator armor. So it is different, and he'll probably have an updated stat line and just be a different miniature on the tabletop. But I think he looks outstanding. All of these new Ultramarines look incredible. I like his just gigantic superpower fists, the belt-fed bolt guns, and I love that the ammo feeds to the direct back of the gun. And so is it like Super Soaker rules? Like the bullets just travel in a tube all the way up to the gun and then shoot out the front? I don't know, but I kind of do love it. It's really cool. He looks fantastic. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a helmeted option, but maybe that's okay because he is Marneus Calgar himself. And his shoulder pad with the double eagle like shaping is fantastic. I think this model is incredible, closely followed by the man himself, Cato Sicarius. It is I, Cato Sicarius, the meme of the Space Marines. He was the captain of the second company, which is a very high up position in the Ultramarines, but now he's just a member of Calgar's honor guard. So I guess they're just gonna get like Larry to be the captain of the second company, and Cato is just off having adventures with Marneus Calgar. But the miniature looks incredible. It's got a beautiful back banner. He's holding his incredibly ridiculous helmet. He is dripping with details, and he's got his kind of Roman style sword, and his little skirt-y thing, his little dick banner that's made up of tassels. Each one of them is capped with an Ultramarine logo, which is really, really silly, but it's really, really cool. This model is really, really good. I like that his cape is wrapped up in his arm. I really like it whenever they do stuff with the cape. And just that little thing, it does so much to like tell the story of this character. Really, really like that. And that isn't even all they got. The Ultramarines got a new box that comes with a bunch of new miniatures. It is the First Company Veterans, the Vicatrix Honor Guard. And it also comes with a Chapter Champion and a Chapter Ancient. So this looks like a box that you're probably going to want 2 copies of so that you can use one box to build all of these characters, and in another box just to have 3 Honor Guard that can hopefully be reinforced to 4 so that you can use all of the minis you end up with. But these guys are unbelievably good. I love the helmet where the mouth is just an eagle. The stylings and the trim on their armor. They all have a little capey cape, and they all have a little power axe and some kind of older looking bolters. They're not carrying the new like Mark 10 call pattern bolter. They do look a little bit like the older bolters with a little bit of Primaris styling in there, but other than that, these guys are incredible. Can I turn them into Black Templars? Probably. There's a fair bit of Ultramarines gubbins that would need to be filed off, but I think it is possible. And they have capes, and I need Marines with capes to be my sword bros. Now, I think it's super cool that Ultramarines are getting some absolutely phenomenal minis. That is fantastic, but it does make me really jealous because look at this banner that they got. Beautiful embossed battle scene of the Angels of Macragge shooting a Gene Stealer on the ground. It's so gorgeous and awesome, and I would spend a week trying to paint it to look good. But compare that to another Space Marine chapter that just got an ancient model, the Black Templars. I mean, he's a cool model. I might buy it today because I'm going to the Warhammer store later, but he's got a banner. Like, he's got a couple of little tassels. Like, give us a scene of Hell's Reach, of Chaplain Grimaldus climbing out of the wreckage of a hive world. Like, it does make sense what they did because the Black Templar also love relics, and so holding up a banner that's just a bunch of relics chained together is cool and Black Templar styling. But a bunch of bits come on the Black Templar upgrade frame. Give us a really cool banner. I don't know. he's fine. Everything is fine, but it does seem like Games Workshop loves the Ultramarines a little bit more than the Black Templar, and they love Space Marines a little bit more than everything else. 4 new units out of the blue. But speaking of 4 units for Warhammer 40,000, the Dark Eldar, the Drukhari codex, got leaked. I gave it a little read, and we lost 4 units. Now, I kind of expected it, but it does still hurt a little bit. Now, one of them, Core of the Archon, I feel like that's fine. I have 2, but I knew what I was getting myself into. I saw a unit, because I was not a Dark Eldar player back in the Dizzy. I started Dark Eldar in 10th edition, and I saw a unit that was made up of a bunch of characters that are old Finecast models that Games Workshop does not sell anymore and hasn't sold in years. And I said, give me 2 of those. Like, I knew what I was getting myself into with Core of the Archon. But Beastmaster, Urian Rackhearth, Grotesques, like those 3 models hurt. The Beastmaster is really important for the witches, and the Grotesques and Urian Rackhearth are really important for the Homunculus Cabal. And so losing those units does mean that we're losing out on like things in our army. Some people love the Witch Covens, and some people love the Homunculus Cabal, and now we're down some units for that. And it feels like if Ultramarines can get 4 new models, I feel like Dark Eldar could have gotten a couple just to keep us at even. I mean, losing out on 4 miniatures is a 1/6 of our model range. Now, to be fair, this new codex does have some really cool stuff in it, and actually has 3 brand spanking new data sheets. And so really, you could say we're losing 4, getting 3. So is it that bad? I don't know. I did lose out on a bunch of models that I have for my army, but they are proxy models that I bought on eBay. Like I wasn't using official Games Workshop minis. So I could kind of continue to use most of those minis except for the Grotesques in other ways in the army. So it's fine, but it's not fine. Games Workshop just come out with some Dark Eldar minis. One of those new data sheets for the Dark Eldar is Lady Malice, who we saw shown off on the Games Workshop website, and she's pretty cool. She lets you, before the game starts, shift around some Dark Eldar units, which is a really, really, really good ability, so she might be an auto-include moving into this new era of the Dark Eldar. But the other 2 data sheets are kind of interesting. One of them is the kill team, the Hand of the Archon, and it's just that kill team brought into Warhammer 40,000. It looks kinda neat. You could use it as like Drukhari Trueborn, and just their extra special Cabalites. There could probably be something really interesting and cool. It seems like instead of being a very shooty squad like Cabalites currently are, they're a little bit more of a fighty squad, which could pair really nicely with an Archon. The other new data sheet is Games Workshop doing something that I've been suggesting over and over and over, and so they stole this idea from me. And that is they took the Scourges. Scourges remain untouched. I love it. Actually, they got better because they used to have to spend a pain token to get reroll hit rolls. Now that's just baked into them. So, love that. But now they've actually split the Scourges into 2 different data sheets. There's the Scourge Squad that can carry all of the heavy weapons. And then there's normal Scourge Squad, which just comes with their blasters. And I love that. I love that so much. If we're not getting just pay for war gear, this is a really, really good way to do it, because if there's war gear options for a unit that can fundamentally change their role in the game, that should be a different unit. And there's a big difference between Dark Lances and Blasters. Like, blasters are just normal guns. And so I really, really like that now we've got 2 different Scourge units, and one of them can be probably a lot cheaper, which is just the normal guns. And then one of them, the heavy weapon team, can be much more expensive. And so that gives you much more flexibility in your army creation. And if you wanted to like spam Scourges, now you could bring 3 of the heavy weapon teams and 3 of the vanilla teams and just flood the board with a bunch of like Batmen. I think that is the perfect way to handle units that have a ton of different loadout options. I go back and forth on if points need to come back, because it's actually pretty rare for a unit to have that many weapon options. It's kind of just like Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, and Guard, who are absolutely bombarded with these crazy stat blocks where they can take one of 16 different guns. most armies, Necrons, Drukhari, kind of regular Eldari, don't have that many weapon options. So orcs especially. So it just becomes, if you're putting together one of those armies, points are kind of just a pain in the butt when you're like, okay, I gotta make sure that I add 2 points times 25 for all of the orc boys in my army that are taking the Slugga Choppa instead of spending the 2 points on the Shuda. And it's not gonna matter in the game in the slightest, but you still have to do the math and add it to your list to make sure that you're not going over in points. But if you're Space Marines, then it does become a problem of, well, who's carrying the Power Fist? Who's carrying the Thunder Hammer? Who's carrying the Melt-A-Gun? Who's carrying the Stormbolter? Like, not every army is equal in this, so I think just breaking things into different data sheets is a really, really nice way to handle it. Really love what they did with the Scourges. I have so many boxes of Scourges, and so this is gonna be a wonderful opportunity to build some Vanilla Boys, and I kind of do wanna build some Vanilla Boys. I was sitting there in front of my laptop with 4 more squads of Scourges sitting in my cart, but I can't do it yet. I gotta finish the Scourges that I have now before I'm allowed to buy more Scourges, because I wanted more Darklance, but I have a squad of Darklance, and now I do have a squad of Haywire, and so I need to build the normies before I get to another squad of Darklance and Havoc and Haywire Blaster. That's my rule. That's my rule right now. Other than that, the new codex, in my opinion, looks very, very interesting. There is a lot of speculation online if it's gonna be really, really good, please nerf immediately, or if it's gonna be really, really bad. And honestly, I have no idea because everything is completely different. The Dark Eldar had, in my opinion, the best army rule, and that is power from pain. Every time a Dark Eldar model kills an enemy model or makes them fail a battle shock check, I get a pain token. And these pain tokens can be spent on reroll the hit roll, and if you're in close combat, you get +1 AP. And so army-wide, you have reroll hits on tap. That is an incredibly powerful ability. I mean, Space Marines get Oath of Moment, and that's only on 1 enemy unit per turn. The Dark Eldar can have reroll hit rolls on whatever they want, whenever they want. Really, really powerful ability. That's gone now. So that is gonna fundamentally change how the Dark Eldar work. Their units are gonna be hitting less, they're gonna be doing a little bit less damage without that AP, and so it's gonna be really, like, it just has to get played with to see how it works, because we lost that, but every data sheet kinda got better. And the new power from pain unlocks even more special abilities for each individual unit. And so I think it just has to get played before we know how good or bad it's gonna be. I think some of the older detachments like Reaper's Wager are gonna get really, really good with these new data sheets that are kinda just better. And there is a special ability for the succubus that is called Morgana's Curse, which is a really, really cool nod to the currently progressing Dark Eldar lore, where Morgana and Lilith, 2 most powerful succubuses in the Dark Eldar, who are currently the bodyguards of Yvraine. It's just a mention of her, which is really, really cool, that the current lore in 40K is making its way into the actual game. And I think that's really, really cool. I am looking forward to the new Dark Eldar Codex quite a bit. Dark Eldar are a funky army to play. It's very, very glass cannon, transport heavy, shenanigans galore. And the new codex is gonna be much denser with rules and abilities and stacking benefits. I forget if it's the Talos or the Chronos. It's the worst one. It's the Talos, unless it's the Chronos. But one of these guys, they have a heal mechanic where if a unit is damaged, then you can, I think, heal it D3. But if your unit is at full strength, but has lost a model, then you can resurrect an entire model. So you can have an entire Talos back. So all of a sudden, I kind of want three-man squads of Talos. And I just to try to resurrect, like, essentially a sentinel a turn. That sounds hilarious to me and is a really, really cool ability. It would be cooler if we got Urian Rackhearth and the Grotesques, because then I could run a proper homunculus coven army. But alas, actually the new combat patrol got revealed for the Dark Eldar, and it is 2 racks, 2 Homunculus / Talos, and the Homunculus, which is the entire Homunculus range. That is every model available to the Cabal. And so if you want to run Cabal minis, just that box. That box is it and everything. There is a Homunculus detachment, and I will play with it. I will try it out. Racks did get quite a bit better. Now they're 2 wounds, and that before they were fine. They were kind of squishy elves, but they could have like a 5-up feel no pain, and that could go up to a 4-up with a Homunculus. Like that, you could kind of make them work. Their new datasheet looks just legitimately good, which is, it's always nice when things are legitimately good. Hellions are good now, or at least Hellions on the surface look good now. Another thing that I'm kind of hoping is if all of the units are getting better, hopefully their points costs are going to go up so that I have to bring less to games. Because right now it's a little bit ridiculous how many miniatures you bring for a 2,000 point game of Dark Eldar. It's been helping him out currently, but I would like to see more powerful, more interesting, less units than more boring units in a 2,000 point game. That's just my hope with the new Dark Eldar Codex. We got the points in the back of the Codex, but that means nothing. They're always completely out of date and change dramatically from where they started, and then once they're released, what gets released digitally. So I don't know, the Dark Eldar Codex is a really weird one, and I'm looking forward to playing it. And I also think that it's really cool that the Ultramarines got a bunch of new minis, but I wish that my armies were getting a bunch of new minis. I mean, the Black Templars got 2, and they didn't even deserve 1. So I think overall, doing pretty good. But you know what else is pretty good? EonsOfBattle.com. EonsOfBattle.com is packed with all sorts of hobby goodies, and our newest product is custom nameplates. These are little plates that stick onto the front of a model's base, and they can say whatever you want. You've seen these all the time on my Black Templars models. Top supporters on our website get their names on my Black Templar minis, and they come along with me to crusade eternally and crush Sean as many times as I can before the release of 11th edition. Our website is also the best way to support us doing what we do with a membership. Each month, members get a credit that they can use on our new monthly train packs or any previous pack we have ever made. This September, we are revisiting our Blood Factory with the Dark Factorum Reborn. This is an epic collection of macabre modular walls that allow for building any shape and size of terrain, like L-shaped ruins and claustrophobic hallways. Within this set are the pulsating power plants, the engorged fluid pump, the digestive pools, all capped off with the deafening screams of the breathing organ. These glistening contraptions blend brutal machinery with fleshy constructs, creating a disturbing manufacturing facility full of unsightly architecture. This train pack is fully compatible with our previous Dark Manufactorum and expands it sickeningly. I've actually been doing a lot of non-Warhammer gaming, but with the new Minotaurum Field Manual, and the new Balanced Data Slate, and the new Dark Eldar, and the new Black Templars, I'm really itching to do some serious Warhammer 40,000. I just put together a bunch of new Necrons for a Star Shatter Arsenal detachment. That's so much 40k. So much 40k, so little time. Thanks for watching.